low. Okay, we are live. Because I really want people connected. You can see that people starts connecting here, right? Mm-hmm. Now we are live on Instagram, so right now we are live on all the platforms. And you're gonna be able to see all the comments here. They're gonna be here.
Okay.
So you can start introducing yourself, and if you have any questions, I'm gonna be here, so you can feel free to ask me. And I'm just gonna share my.
They can hear me right now.
Yeah, they can hear you. So we want to wait a little bit that people connect. And you can tell them that too, like, welcome them. I'm just going to send me these.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, I should be able to hear you now. So if you want to go present yourself, like said that we're going to wait just a couple of minutes until people connect.
Hey, so it looks like we're live. Can everybody hear okay? We're going to wait a couple minutes here. Just make sure everybody gets in. Anna, do you want this connected?
Disconnect. Okay. So let me see if we're live on the others.
We're going to wait a couple more minutes, let a few more people get in, and then we'll get started here. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. If you're in the U.S., it's been cold in a lot of places. Down here in Florida, it's going to get down to 10 degrees, believe it or not, in Central Florida.
Okay, you're all right. So if you want to start to present yourself.
Chad, how's it going? Boo. All right, so there'll be a few more of you that probably, hey, how's it going, Mac? From the Tucson satellite location, welcome. I'll go ahead and introduce myself. So my name is Jesse Dunn. I'm here at the New Smyrna Beach location down here in Florida. Our headquarters here at the 147 school. I'm one of the lead instructors, and today we're going to be talking about the 147 school itself. So becoming a A&P mechanic. The industry now is referring to them as AMTs, so aviation maintenance technicians. So a little bit about me, my background. I spent a little over 8 years in the United States Navy. I was a jet engine mechanic, did 5 deployments, got to spend some time in Washington State, and then I spent a little over 3 years in Hawaii. Anybody ever been in Hawaii? Give me a thumbs up if you've been in Hawaii. Anybody been? Nobody? Not yet. But had a great time in the military. When I got out, I was able to transfer what I've learned in the military to the civilian sector. So took everything I had, talked to the local FSDO. They questioned me, and then from there I was able to get my A&P license. So I worked in that realm for a little while. And then I decided I want to get into teaching. So I actually went into public education, but I always missed the camaraderie that aviation provides. And I went back into aviation, been back in it for about 5 years now. And when I saw an opening here at Epic Flight Academy, I knew it would fit my background perfect. And you know, I'm able to bring my knowledge to you guys, and that's really the hope here.
You have like 25 people on Instagram and change, and you can see the number.
Yeah, so we got some more people joining here as well. Hello, everybody. Welcome if you're just streaming live. Again, my name's Jesse Dunn. We're talking about the 147 A&P school here in New Smyrna. We also have a location up at CVG in Cincinnati.
Can you see the comments of it?
Yeah. So also, as we go through here and I talk about the program, if you guys have some questions, you can go ahead and drop them in the comments. If it's something that I'm not currently talking about towards the end here, I will kind of circle back to them and answer as many questions as possible. Easy egos, as long as you do not, but as long as you have a GED, you'd be able to join us here. That's perfectly fine. So what I teach here is I kind of float between the programs. So right now I'm actually teaching Airframe 2, but I was teaching General as well before that. But I pretty much go where I'm needed. That way the other instructors can take vacation, things like that. And I really enjoy working with students just because I can give a broad knowledge base based on my background. And I like to see people, you know, going into this industry with just that excitement that I have about it, and knowing more than the other schools provide. That's really our number one thing here at Epic Flight Academy at the 147 school. We want to make sure we produce a good student, and our partners can definitely attest to that, like United, FlexJet, companies like that. So I see some questions coming in here as well. We'll get back to those. We'll circle around. So let's keep going here. So program overview. And if you guys see me looking down, I'm just trying to follow my notes here to stay on task. And go ahead again, ask questions as needed. If it's on the subject that I'm talking about, then I'll try to answer it as quickly as possible. If not, we'll circle back around to it. So program overview. So here at Epic Flight Academy, at most A&P schools throughout the United States, we have a general, airframe, and power plant course. Currently, we're going to a 15-month program. So each course that you take will be 3 months long. So general will be 3 months. Then you have airframe 1, airframe 2, power plant 1, and power plant 2. And each program stacks on the previous one. That way, as you progress through the program, your knowledge also expands, which is really good. So A&P again means airframe and power plant. So some of you that might be prior military, maybe you have experience on the airframe sheet metal side of things. In the Navy, if you were AM, or if you were in the Navy or AD, those are airframe or sheet metal guys or engine guys. I was an AD. So you can transfer that and then maybe come to the school if you only need to get your power plant or if you only need to get your airframe. That's perfectly fine. Our program's set up to where you can take just one specific block or you can take them all at one time. So if you're coming straight out of high school, you can get everything. If you're coming out of the military, you can get only what you need. And if it's a career change, that's perfectly fine as well. We'll get you in the program and take you from start to finish here. So the training includes basically all hands-on things. And I'll circle back to the question about how much we make a year towards the end. So I'll talk about that towards the end. But I can tell you guys it's pretty lucrative. But this program here it's pretty much 40% in class and 60 to 70% hands-on. We do that on purpose. When I talk to a few companies that recruit our students here, one of the things they say the industry lacks the most is individuals that have the ability to troubleshoot. So they didn't say they can't troubleshoot, they said the ability to troubleshoot. So we do really focus on getting you guys to the point where you can figure out what's wrong and being able to fix that prior to you leaving this program. Now it's going to take a while depending on what it is, especially when it comes to electrical. But as you progress, you'll notice that the learning does start to stack, and we can really see that. So you'll start to see leaps and bounds. The requirements, just real quick, one of the questions, the requirements for international students, I suggest, we do have a bunch of international students here, but I would suggest going online to our website and filling out a enrollment form and talking to one of the individuals that'll reach out to you to answer all your questions, because every individual, depending on what country you're coming from, might have a little different circumstance. But we have people from Africa, Brazil, all over right now. So you're going to learn everything from inspections, publications, some of these things that I'll say you won't even know unless you come here, but filling out 337s, you'll learn 100 hours, you'll learn annual inspections, you'll learn what it means to be an IA. It's just a really in-depth program, and I think you guys would get a lot out of it. And the focus for aviation maintenance is really on general aircraft. So what that means is Pipers, 172s, Cessna 172s. The focus that the FAA has is for you guys to learn about general aircraft itself. And when you get into the field, you can choose to go that route. You can choose to go to United. You can choose to go to UPS. You can choose to go private. I come from the private aviation world. There's a ton of places you guys can go, which we'll dive in a little deeper here. And the program, I can say as an A&P mechanic, and everybody here probably knows that with the onset of AI coming, I know a lot of you have probably heard that UPS is laying off jobs, Amazon's laying off jobs. There's a lot of companies that are laying people off. But as an A&P mechanic, there's a high need. Boeing says there's roughly 700,000 to 800,000 personnel shortage by the year 2030. So you guys definitely have not only can get the money that you deserve, but the jobs are not going anywhere at all. And if you guys do want to apply, you can apply early. I just saw one of those questions. You can apply at any time. We do have rolling start dates depending on the location that you want to go to. So again, I'm coming to you live from New Smyrna, but we also have a facility in CVG, Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area. All right, so let's circle back real quick. So how long does the program take? So the program takes 15 months. So starting in February, we're going to a 15-month program. Again, you're going to do general in 3 months. So that would be basics, stuff that you guys learned in school. You can, math, physics. Some of this stuff might sound scary to you, but if you have a basic knowledge of that stuff, we can get you through it. Again, a lot of stuff we have is technologically advanced nowadays. So when you're in the field, you're able to use calculators, things like that. But the FAA wants you to know, we need to know as you progress through the program that you have an idea of how to do it. If, let's say, the battery stops working in whatever you're using in that calculator. You could do it on your own. Weekly schedule. We are in class Monday through Thursday. So Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Friday is a makeup day. So we do have a strict guideline that we have to meet for all students, which the FAA oversees us on. So you guys have to be in class a certain percentage of time. And if you need a makeup time, if you need to get up to speed, you can come in on Friday and we can help you through that. So right now we don't have it down to hours. We have it into blocks, but it's 15 months. We are going to the hour or weekly schedule. So Jackson, if you wanted to call and ask those questions or fill out an application, we can get you all that information on exactly how many hours it is, but that'll go live in February. Now, training. So consistently come into school and training with us. Like I said before, the more you get your hands on, the more you do something over and over again, the better you're obviously going to get at it. Okay. We want you in school so that we can, number one, not have you repeat a block, because the FAA says you can only miss a certain percentage of the program, but also so we can start really stacking your learning and really start getting you hands-on the aircraft. We have 162s, 172s, Pipers. We have a ton of stuff here. Cutaways, we have landing gear, all that stuff to get your real life experience and real hands-on. Things that you'll do here, you will absolutely do out in the field, which is great. So let's get into what it typically, like the lifestyle and what it's like to be an A&P mechanic. So lifestyle, it really comes down to where you guys want to work. There's such a broad range of jobs you can have, from just being a mechanic to working your way up to being a crew chief, an inspector, quality assurance. You could work for the FAA at the local level or at a regional level. You can work for United, Delta, those companies. I'm sure many of you want to work for those companies. A lot of people that come here do. But we also want to open your eyes to private aviation. Companies like FlexJet, like NetJets, a lot of billionaires and multimillionaires, they utilize their jets to get around, and it's a very lucrative career. So you can work in hangars that are air conditioned. You can work in hangars that aren't air conditioned or heated. You could work outside on a line, or you can be just under a cover. It really depends on the company you guys work for. Super excited to hear that some of you are actually starting in February. That's awesome. At the CVG location, welcome to the team. John's great up there. You guys will enjoy that. So again, we have airlines, repair stations. So some of you might know MROs, where maintenance, repair, and overhaul. Those are companies that just, companies send their airplanes to an MRO to get fixed. So you could work at all these different places. And as you progress, you get more aware of these. We bring companies in all the time from all these different industries, which will give you that exposure, okay? And that's really what we want. We want you to go out into the field and be happy doing what you want to do. If you want to get into specialties, you can go avionics. Does anybody like electronics out there? Is anybody an electronic person? Give me a heart if you're an electronic person, or a thumbs up. Some people do, some people don't. We got sheet metal. We have engine. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff, guys, that you can do, which is really awesome for everybody. Again, it is a hands-on career, okay? And what's really cool about being a hands-on career is that you can actually see something go from nothing to literally flying, Okay. One place I didn't mention that many of you could work for are companies that manufacturing companies. Embraer is one that's exploding right now. You guys work for Boeing, Airbus, all those companies as well. So it really comes down to what you want to do and where you want to go. So the exciting part about what we do is our salary and career growth or career progression. Does anybody, if you can drop into the comments, what do you think the average starting salary is for an aviation maintenance technician? So if you can drop in, what do you think the starting salary is for aviation maintenance technician? Let's see if anybody can get close. 84K, that's pretty close, Jackson. What else you guys have? I know you guys are on here. How much do you think the average starting wage is, roughly? So we'll go off of Jackson. So Jackson, depending on where you go, that's pretty close. But we're in the roughly $33 to $35 per hour range, but that's just starting. Okay, that's just starting. The average is roughly $78,000 a year. Okay, for an A&P mechanic, yeah, $78,000 a year. But there's companies out there within 2 to 3 years, you'll be making over $100,000 easily. So I see 40 to 55. That's actually low. So think roughly 65,000 to 75,000 to start. So within 15 months, you can go from knowing nothing to getting a job, making $70,000 to $75,000 a year with great benefits. Okay. Also, another thing that the aviation industry has that I think a lot of other companies don't are good benefits. Okay. Some companies offer upwards of 4 weeks paid vacation a year. And the average 401k match is roughly 6%. But there are some companies out there that pay 8 or 10% match on your 401k. Good healthcare benefits that are cheaper than the national average, much cheaper. So it's just great career opportunities out there for you guys. And good money, especially if you don't want to go to a 4-year career route, or maybe you went that route and you just decided, hey, that's not for me. All right, so let me look at my notes here to make sure I'm still on track. Also, one thing I did want to mention, talking about this, is if you guys decide you want to just get if you don't have a degree, you just want to come get your AMT with us, your A&P license, I should say, most companies will pay for your education once you work for them. They have really good tuition assistance, so you have the ability to obtain your bachelor's degree or higher, which further opens opportunities within the aviation industry. I personally know individuals that got their A&P, work their way up to become director of maintenance, and now they're a COO of a company. Okay. Really, the opportunities are there for you guys to grab in whatever route you want to go. If you don't want to do hands-on, there's also maintenance controller positions. You can work in-house at the hub at these different companies and do the logistical portions of it, which is also lucrative as well. So Chad, I would say go to our website, fill out the information, and talk to one of our recruiters. We do have international students as well. So just know we take care of you guys, and we have people from all over the place. Hello for those of you that just joined. Appreciate you being here. So we already went over the types of jobs you can have, how lucrative it can be. Also, another one that a lot of people don't think about are military contracting positions. I'm sure many of you have heard of companies like L3. Think of the B-2 bombers. Are anybody a fan of the B-2 bombers? There's many companies out there that work directly with the military, where you can have a secret clearance and work on things that nobody can actually see. So this is a really cool industry to get into. Safety is the #1 goal in aviation. I know with the onset of social media, we see things a lot quicker now. And there has been a lot of issues as of late with crashes, tires falling off, things of that nature. But I can assure you, if you guys work for a good company, safety is the #1 goal. And we're going to preach that here every single day at Epic Flight Academy, at the 147 program, and on our flight side, okay? And we want you guys to take that out into the field. It should always be #1. Another thing, you guys need to be reliable, not only to show up at school, but when you go into the field. That's one thing that you need to also do, is be able to show up and do your work. As far as shifts go, you could work mids, night check, you could work days. Some companies are Monday through Friday. Some companies have shifts. And what I mean by shifts is maybe you work 3 on, 4 off, 4 on, 3 off. So similar to a nurse. Other times you may work 4 10s. So really it comes down to the company that you get on with. I can tell you the airline companies, because they are union, most of the time you will start on nights. Okay, most of the time you will start on nights, but there is a shift differential, and it's upwards of 12 to 15% in most cases. So somebody on here says Epic needs to open a location in Northern Virginia. We're not too far away from you in Cincinnati, but I agree, if we could be in more places, that would be awesome. But we're working on it. So that's it for really the career projection, and I'll go ahead and start opening it up for questions for whatever you guys need about, if you have any questions about the school, again, about salary, about work-life balance, anything like that, just go ahead and shoot away. Go ahead and ask some questions here, and I'll get to as many that I can. I'm going to take a sip of water here. So how to enroll, pretty easy. Just go to our website fill out the pre-enrollment form, and we'll get in touch with you. And we'll be able to answer any questions. There's no obligation there. Just ask all the questions you can. The program is 15 months long. Depending on your situation will depend on the final cost of the program. But what I can tell you about the program itself is we are very competitive, and actually most of the time well under our competitors, essentially. We don't primarily offer apprenticeships. Some places do. I would look into the bigger companies like Theme, places like that, because sometimes they offer discounted tuition, or they'll pay you to get your A&P license if you work for them afterwards. So Arthur, again, how much? It depends on your certain circumstances, what type of Pell Grants and different stuff like that you're able to obtain. So I would suggest filling out the pre-enrollment form, and we can answer all those questions. It's on a case-by-case basis. We do have scholarship opportunities, absolutely. Those are through an application. So I would also fill out the pre-enrollment form, ask about how to apply for a scholarship opportunity. Sometimes they can provide up to half off of the program. We do get a lot of forms for scholarships. So it goes to a board, and then the board chooses who gets a scholarship. So let's see, filled out the form, but I'll double text you on this app. Yeah, so Chad, thanks for filling that form out. It takes roughly 24 to 48 hours for us to get back, depending on the volume, but we look forward to talking to you. Absolutely. All right. Is the program challenging? It really is. I think, and it also depends on your background. If you're somebody that's never worked on cars, never tinkered with anything, you might have a larger learning curve than somebody that has been working on cars on a daily basis, let's say, or their motorcycles or tinkering. But it's challenging for everybody. It is going to stretch you, but just know we can get you to that finish line. We're here to help you. So I'm getting a couple highs. Hello, how you doing? What else do you guys have? Let's see. Form. Texted you good. So for the PPL, the private pilot license, today we're just talking about the 147 school itself, but I would go ahead and fill out the application for the pre-enrollment form and talk to them, but we would love to have you guys join us. We do have scholarships available, but they're through an application process. Unfortunately, I do not speak Arabic. Advice for candidates, just know that you're going to be challenged here, but it's a lot of fun, okay? It is Monday through Thursday. You're going to be here from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., not 5 p.m., 3 p.m., 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it's a lot of fun. That's all I can say. Go ahead and do your pre-enrollment form, and we will get in touch with you. Goldia, go ahead and fill out that pre-enrollment form, and we will discuss the scholarship opportunities with you. But it is a case-by-case basis. So here pretty soon, if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to wrap it up. Hopefully this gives you a good base of what we do here. And we look forward to hearing from as many of you as possible. So any last questions real quick? Remember, go ahead and fill out the pre-enrollment form. We'll be in talk with you. We'll look at the messages and we'll circle back around right after this. But again, go to our website, fill out that pre-enrollment form. We'll get in touch with you. If you guys have any more questions about the scholarship opportunities, we can talk about all that with our recruiters, okay? So hopefully you guys have a safe day. Hopefully you have a good weekend. If it's snowing and freezing where you are, please be safe. It's going to be cold down here in Florida, which is not natural, but we'll weather that storm. So look forward to talking to you guys soon.